Welcome to another game in which I'm going to be playing Zed mid lane versus a Xerath. I have Graves, Syra bot lane versus a Misfortune Janna lane. I have Lee Sin top lane versus a Teemo. And I have Nautilus jungle versus a Maokai. So let's jump in and see how this goes. So, my initial thoughts is, it's pretty standard to see Zed in mid lane. I picked Zed first pick because Zed currently is regarded as being very OP. They picked Xerath into me. I'm not entirely certain why. I wouldn't have thought he'd be good against me, other than the fact he gains armor for building AP. So he naturally becomes tough against me. But that's fine, I'm not too fussed. So anyway, give Nautilus a nice pull and then come into mid lane to start farming. Pretty standard, pretty basic. Nautilus, the Xerath tries to poke onto me, and I'm like, okay, fine. You keep trying. It's fine. I'm not too fussed. You can keep trying to slow me down in my farming. But I have pots. I have to start with boots to try and avoid stuff, and I get level 2. So my first thing is start poking. As soon as I've got Shadow and he's in a good place for me, I will throw out my Shadow and start poking him, because that is how Zed is played. Whenever I throw out my Shadow, I will cast hopefully a Q and an E and hopefully poke him. That's how I'll knock him down a bit in this lane. Nautilus comes on through and tries to catch on to him, but nah, Xerath just backs off. Fine, okay, so I've used 2 pots and Xerath has used 2 pots. Pretty basic, but he's also out of mana now. That's good for me. That means I'm just going to sit here and I'm just going to keep poking him. So I keep throwing out shadows, keep poking, keep farming, and keep basically just ruling the lane. Pretty basic, pretty standard. He's trying his best to handle the lane, but because I'm an energy champion, I'm just going to keep spamming. There's nothing he can do about it. I will just keep on casting spells and keep damaging him and continue to push. Because he needs mana, it means he can only push me out and poke me so much. So anyway, at this point he's gone back and I'm like, okay, fine, okay. You've gone back and I'm still here and I'm still just pushing. So, I go back, I get double longsword and 2 wards and some more pots. Double longsword instead of, say, a vamp scepter is because I don't need the lifesteal this early because I'm already surviving the lane route pain. But I do want more damage, so double longsword means double damage of a vamp scepter, and I've got multiple options. One of those longswords will turn into a brutalizer, and the other one will turn into a vamp scepter. Pretty basic, pretty standard. I'm going to go for the bloodthirster to build this game. Reason being is I want straight up damage. I don't really want Blader and King early because I don't need it. I've got nothing really that I need to run away from or burst down at a ridiculous speed. So anyway, we come in here and we have a little argument. Pretty basic, pretty standard. And then I ult onto one of them and boom, kill off Janna. Straight off, exploded. Xerath's off to the back, poking out us. Fine, he can do that. And then we just leave it, and I've got a kill. Bonus for me. So, I'm now ahead, I've got a kill, and I'm already dominating the lane against Xerath. Good for me, pretty basic. He keeps hitting me with a few Qs, keeps poking me, fine, I'm not too fussed. I've got pots, and I've still got more damage on him. So, anyway, I go back, I get a vamp scepter, I get another longsword, I get some more wards and some more pots, and I head back to lane. Pretty standard, pretty basic. So, I come into lane, and I've got ult now. So, I jump on his face, try to poke him. I don't want to ult, I want to lower him so that my ult will kill him. And then I notice that my guys are up here having a little argument with Teemo. So, I come in to help finish off the kill. They catch onto him, I come in, boom, we kill him. Get a kill for Nautilus, I get an assist. I didn't really lose anything because I was already pushing. And I come back into mid lane. I then continue to farm. Continue to try and poke him, continue to push. He's continuing to try and fight back the push, but because he's not got blue buff, he's struggling. He has a Tear of the Goddess though, so that's a good pickup by him. That will allow him to stay in the lane with his mana, but it's not going to stop me from continuously pushing. So I jump on his face again, and he backs off, he takes some damage, I don't really take very much, and it's back to square one pretty much. He's drunk pots, and it's like, fine, okay. So, I continue to push, and Maokai comes in, I shadow away, can't get him under the tower, and then he backs off. Fine, Xerath couldn't do anything because he was too far back. So, I continue to push and continue to dominate the lane. As Zed is usually in that situation, it's fine. Usually, Zed just dominates the lane. There's not a lot most characters can do against him. So anyway, I continue to push, continue to dominate, and continue to just farm. At this point, I'm 30 farm ahead of him. I've got the highest farm in the game, and I'm 1-0-1. He's got no deaths, but he's got no kills or assists. At this point, I'm a bit skeptical about the Teemo. I'm fearing Teemo's going to be a problem later, because he's actually dominating top lane. But it should be fine. So, Xerath's there, and I was pushing down tower and because he wasn't around. And then I continued to push. I don't want to be under the tower, because that would be foolish and very, very silly. But I do want to continue to poke him and get an opportunity to ult him. Not going to just ult him because he's got a lot of armor and he's scary. So, he does some damage and I back off. He used his ult, fine. Okay, I avoided most of it via shadow. So, I go back, I get a BF sword and I get brutalizer. Now is the part when I start doing some serious damage. Just need my blood first now and I'll just start blowing people up. So we go for Drake and I come along to help. It's not like I'm missing much in mid lane. Okay, I wasn't pushing this time, so... But I lost 2 minions. That's fine, considering I got a Drake. So, I come back into mid lane, I continue to farm, and he tries to poke me down a little bit. But I've now got sustain, and I've got a lot of damage. So I keep jumping on him, and keep trying to damage him, and then Nautilus comes in, catches onto him, gets his flash, and then backs off. Fine, okay, cool. Nautilus got a flash for me, and that will just make it easier for me to kill him if I do get the opportunity to jump on him. At this point, I'm now almost 40 farm ahead of Xerath, and Teemo comes into mid lane, because he pushed our top tower. Fine, I'm not too fussed. So I come down here to try and help, fighting, and then Teemo catches onto me, and I back off. I don't really want to be part of that. Don't like that little rodent, so we'll just go off and I farm Braves for a bit of life, and then I come back into mid lane. Xerath at this point is actually being a bit irritating with his Seeker's Arm Guard and his Tear of the Goddess. So I'm a bit skeptical about this, but Nautilus wanted the gank and it's like it wasn't going to happen, so fine. I just continue to push, continue to farm, and then I come down here, maybe catch onto them, and then Xerath does this and I run away. I get him to waste his ult. In that time my team's in his jungle having a little argument, and generally he's not doing a lot about it. And then I go back, I buy myself my Bloodthirster and some more wards. I then go back into mid lane, my team's having an argument at the bottom, kill 2 people, and I come into mid lane to push. Xerath's not here because he's down bottom, so I'm just aiming to get the tower at this point. So, I come in, donk, donk, stabby, stabby, stab, 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 my tower, yoink, push in the minions, and then Maokai goes onto me. I could have probably killed him, but I didn't know where Xerath was, so I didn't risk it. So, I just back off and wait for an opportunity, and then my team's down here having an argument. I'm like, okay, fine, I'm here. We tried to catch on Xerath, but I missed my shadow quite badly. And then Nautilus catches onto him, and I backed off. I wasn't certain if it would catch. And then the argument ends. They back off, we back off, and I go back to farming. And I just leave it at that. And then I wander over here, check the blue's gone, fine. Not too fussed, it's not like I needed it, but it's a shame really, because it would have been nice for Nautilus. Nautilus is pretty big though, and he's got a blue buff, so it's fine. I decide I want to roam down here and kill their bot lane. So, I come down, the team's already gone on them, already killed an MF, and I come in and help with the Janna kill. And then we catch on to the Xerath, thanks to Nautilus, and I ult boom, and he blows up. Another kill for Graves. Kind of sad for me, because I was looking forward to having a kill, but at this point Graves is quite fed and I'm not going to complain. Although it does mean I don't snowball quite as hard. So I just sit here and let the team push into the tower. and push up, kill off their minion wave, and then I go off and I kill off the tower with the help of Graves and Zyra. So we back off and we go for Drake. Nautilus is top, fine, we're not too bothered, and we take that and we back off, and I go over here and I push mid lane. Then their team's pushing here, or at least I think they are, and I'm calling for assistance, but then I realise that they're not actually bothered and they're not going to go for this. So I just push back the minion wave and then wander off around, steal rakes. I'm basically just stealing monies from them. I'm looking around for their red's not there, and I just decide that instead I will push back mid lane again, and then I'll go back. I buy myself a Last Whisper and some more wards. Now I do serious damage. Even Xerath with his tankiness will not survive. I will blow him off. I'm 50 farm ahead of him, and I'm doing really well. So we push in mid lane, and we aim for the tower. Misfortune's there. Lee Sin's trying to catch onto him. Fine. Janna's arrived, and I'm like, nah, I don't like the idea of jumping on them, really. Nautilus has a little argument with Teemo, and eventually kills the little Rogan. Cool, beans, and I'm just pushing mid lane. Xerath's down bottom, and I'm like, okay, I need to come down here and help. So I come in, I ult onto the Misfortune, we kill off Maokai, we then kill off Misfortune. Xerath is there, and I'm like, hello Xerath, nice to meet you. Boom! Double kill for Graves. Okay, Xerath got a kill, but it's late. It's too late at this point. We're 10k ahead, we're 3 towers ahead, and we're going in for another tower. I get tanky on the tower, and then I back off when we kill it, and then we aim for the inhibitor while killing off all the minions, and then we back off. There's no point staying there. So we back off, we go for mid tower, and then I'm looking for an opportunity to poke onto them a little bit. And then Xerath is trying to catch onto us. Nope, not happening. Me and Lee Sin back off. I kill off this minion wave as quickly as I can. Teemo tries to catch onto me. And then I realise all my team's over there. And their team's sort of wandering around. And I decide actually maybe there's an opportunity to kill MF. So I go for an opportunity. I look, MF's in a bad place at this point. And then I come round and I ult on top of her. She flashes, and then I get blown up, but I get MF killed. Graves dies, sadly, and then my team just finishes off. Eventually, it takes them a little while, but we get an ace. We only lose me and Graves. Not too bad, considering. And then I come back up, I get my Merc Treads, and I get a Ruby Crystal for my Black Cleaver. As soon as I get my Black Cleaver, their armor won't be a huge amount, because I'll just their armor will just be gone. And then we decide, let's go for Baron. We might as well. There's not a lot they can do. If they come for us, we'll just kill them. Simple as. We take the Baron. I then decide I'm going to have a little 1v1 with the Teemo. So I jump on his face. I miss my Qs. Probably not the best of plans. And then I kill him. Boom. Nearly died. I would have killed him sooner had I not missed my Qs, but overall, not too bad. Teemo's kind of painful though. He's a little bit fed. So anyway, I go back, I get Black Cleaver, I get a Longsword. Longsword is for another Vamp Scepter, because I'm going to go for Glass Cannon build, because I'm doing so well. And Glass Cannon build consists of a Bloodthirster, a Black Cleaver, a Last Whisper, and a Blade of the Ruined King. It also consists of a Random's Omen. Random's Omen is so that you can jump on them, Random's Omen, and just blow up them before they can even fight back. We catch onto MF, I ult her, boom, she dies so quickly. And we push in, continue to push in, and they continue to try and poke us, and we just go for the tower. Not a lot they can do, and we take it, and then I jump in, nearly blow the hell out of Xerath, and they're just sitting up there, they can't do a huge amount, and we just go for the Nexus. Overall, I feel this game went pretty well. Both sides played well. I don't think the Xerath pick was a good pick against the Zed. There's much better picks like Diana, but I think Diana was banned this game. Can't quite remember. So, but anyway, overall, not a bad game. Pretty good. There was mistakes made by both teams, but I played well. I was 70 farm nearly 80 ahead of the Zaraf. Overall, good game. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. You can also follow me and like me on Twitter and Facebook. Thank you for watching.